Breaking records in college, amassing numerous accolades in high school, Caitlin Clark is hailed to be one of the most eclectic female basketball players in recent times. Growing up in West Des Moines, Iowa, Caitlin Clark was just mediocre before she became the record-breaking basketball player of today. From last place on her JV high school team to receiving a massive Nike deal and being selected first overall in the WNBA, this is the shocking uprise of basketball phenomenon Caitlin Clark. Those who knew Caitlin understood she was a formidable force in women's basketball, even though it would have been difficult to foresee the exact magnitude of her influence. Clark played a variety of sports as a young child. In addition to playing basketball, she also played volleyball, softball, and soccer, showcasing her agility and competitive spirit. She participated in the boys' basketball league at the young age of 5, and even in the presence of much bigger boys, she still held solid. Lily Overstreet, who accompanied Clark on the same juvenile soccer team when they were 11 years old, reaffirmed Clark's unwavering will to succeed, saying to High School FN, "She was very intense, a fierce competitor. She would go above and above to win, even as a little child." Caitlin Clark started devoting more of her energies to basketball as she grew older. Even as a freshman, Coach Kristen Meyer of Dowling Catholic High School was amazed by her skill level. Speaking to AP News, Meyer revealed that because Clark was so much better than the typical high school player, there were in fact some difficulties while working with her. There were moments where her impatience or competitiveness kind of took over. It was challenging for her at times, but every high school student has to learn through certain experiences. Looking back, she saw that her ability level was lower than other people's. Even in the face of frustration, Clark developed as an athlete in high school. She contributed to the United States women's under-16 basketball team, winning the gold medal in Argentina in 2017. She repeated the feat in 2019 and 2021 with the USA women's under-19 squad, winning MVP in the 2021 competition. In addition, she received the 2019-2020 Gatorade National Player of the Year award. It was evident that college recruiters quickly became aware of her exceptional play on the court. With her high school career coming to a conclusion, Clark had a huge selection of college options at her disposal, with many schools competing for her enrollment. She had originally intended to enroll at the University of Connecticut. She'd always looked up to Maya Moore, the outstanding women's basketball player at UConn. Thus, growing up, this had been her ambition. In the end, though, UConn declined to recruit her. And while Notre Dame was also interested in her, she ultimately decided to play for the University of Iowa Hawkeyes because she wanted to be a team captain. Similar to her high school career, Clark advanced rapidly in college. She averaged 26.6 points while starting every game in her first campaign. Her talent and dedication earned her the unanimous title of Big Ten Freshman of the Year. Caitlin Clark demonstrated a few weapons from her arsenal. Soon after, nearly empty stadiums began to tremble with the roar of spectators as Clark's court dominance and mile-long three-pointers began to draw audiences. The excitement stemmed partly from facing up against rival NCAA stars. A prominent opponent of hers was Angel Reese, a forward for LSU. The games between LSU and the University of Iowa were excited to watch because of these two rivals on the court. LSU was the winner of the 2023 NCAA Women's National Championship. A video of Reese insulting Clark by waving her hand in front of her face went viral after the competitive game. Notably, that taunt had been used earlier by Clark herself. Sport fans enjoy a good rivalry, but in this instance, both players made it clear that their differences were left on the field. The fact that we've had fantastic competition the entire year is what makes women's basketball so enjoyable. I believe Angel would concur. In fact, Angel Reese made the identical statement at a press conference that preceded Iowa and LSU's 2020 rematch, when Clark smashed Pete Maravich's scoring mark. College basketball fans were blown away. A player had not yet surpassed Maravich's 3,667-point NCAA career record decades later. With a free throw that put her over the all-time record, Clark reached 3,668 points. Speaking about the historic moment, Clark said that, as usual, she was more concerned with herself, her team, and winning the game than she was keeping an eye on the record when she made the shot. In a game against Penn State in March 2024, she sank a record-breaking 163 three-pointers, shattering the NCAA Division I record for the most three-pointers made in a season. Clark has attracted new fans to the sport and established herself as a role model thanks to her skill and record-breaking exploits. This was particularly clear during the University of Iowa versus the University of South Carolina 2024 championship game. Even though South Carolina prevailed, it was anticipated to be a difficult matchup, and Clark and the rest of her team nevertheless put on an outstanding performance. Even with the loss, the tournament had a record-breaking viewership, with an average of 18.7 million viewers and a peak of 24 million. It was an amazing day for women's basketball overall, and this was the most watched basketball game since 2019, including professional and men's basketball games, up 89% from the previous year. What's even more amazing is that the game only improved upon two earlier records. 12.3 million people watched the April 1st contest between Iowa and LSU, while 14.2 million saw the April 2nd Final Four matchup between Iowa and UConn. Following each of those, ESPN declared that it was the network's most viewed college match. Now, these exceptional athletes, coaches, and teams captured our attention in unprecedented ways, and it's incumbent on all of us to keep the incredible momentum going. ESPN chairman Jimmy Pitaro said after such a historic season, praising players like Clark, Angel Reese, and others for generating so much interest from fans and the media. Prior to the WNBA draft, Clark made an appearance and expressed gratitude to the several female athletes who had come before her. Caitlin Clark, who had an incredible collegiate basketball career, was eager to carry on her legacy in professional athletics by joining the WNBA. The selection of Clark by Indiana Fever, who held the first draft pick in 2024, was not surprising. A top collegiate athlete who broke records, Clark stood out among the many other talented players available for the draft. Clark's family, friends, and supporters gathered around her on the night of the pick to support her as she moves forward. She stated to ESPN, sharing that moment with them and enjoying it, and the people that really had my back and believed in me more than anyone is super special. When it was revealed that Caitlin Clark's WNBA pay would only be $338,056 for the following 4 years, many fans were taken aback. Even if this income might be considered respectable by some, it seems incredibly meager in comparison to some of her male colleagues' multi-million-dollar deals. It was disheartening to witness such a stark disparity in compensation for an athlete who has garnered so much admiration and attention from the media. The industry's pay disparity sparked a lot of discussion after word leaked about her income. From a gifted little child from Iowa, Caitlin Clark has developed into the next big basketball sensation. She dominated in games, scoring more points than any other college player, and captured the interest of spectators and other sportsmen. Basketball fans can't wait to watch her fly to new heights as she prepares to take her career to the next level by joining the WNBA. So what do you think? Is Caitlin Clark going to be the woman who will turn the WNBA around? Let us know down in the comment section below, and make sure to catch our next video shown on the screen right here.